Jesus Christ once said, "No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God." When I look at this situation with Big U, Eugene Henley, 58-year-old man, somebody that God has given multiple opportunities to get his life together, multiple business opportunities as well, he's come across to change his life financially and to just rewrite his story after all the things that he did wrong in his life. He decides to look back and never leave the neighborhood that he came from, to look back and not, instead of doing the right things, all the right things, and not look back at all. He's been accused and arrested and accused of basically extortion, tax evasion, kidnapping, human trafficking, all kind of different stuff that he's in the federal custody for right now, man. But one of the bigger things, a part of this story, is robbing celebrities via his nonprofit organization. Now, as entrepreneurs, as we're watching this live stream, I'm going to go through a lot of the different things that we should learn as a result of watching this story and seeing what's going on with this story, because I think that there's a lot of teachable lessons in this. But sometimes we think that entrepreneurship, or we think that just coming from the hood and being successful from the hood, we have to be one way and we have to be what everybody from the hood expects us to be. So we're going to talk about that, but I'm going to go through the details of this and show you guys exactly what's going on with Big U, who's 58 years old, who's widely known as a leader of the Rolling 60s Crips, accused of killing Nipsey Hussle, accused of kidnapping, robbery, extortion, fraud. There's a lot of different things that's going on in this, and there's a lot of areas and angles I want to kind of attack this story through. If you guys just coming in, hit that like button. We are on live stream, so I got you guys in the chat. I see you guys. And I want to go show you guys how this guy, Big U, I don't know any other way to say it other than he robbed Shaq, a boxer that's listed on the document, the federal document, as AB, which everybody assumes is Adrian Broner, Draymond Green, other celebrities. And he did an interview with Shaq, and I'm gonna show you guys the interview in a second. We're gonna play that, and he gonna talk, and you guys are gonna hear him talk to Shaq about how it works, how extortion works in LA, basically, and how all this checking in stuff that we've heard throughout the years in hip hop culture it's crazy, man. When, like, the older you get, the more you realize how silly hip hop culture is, if you are privileged enough to escape them environments where it's taken so seriously. Because when you zoom out, I'm 30. Eugene Henley, Big U, is 58 years old. I'm looking at him like, bro, what's wrong with you at 30 years old? Like, just maturity wise. And that may be because I've been able, by the grace of God, to have success, immense success financially, and build businesses and contribute to society in a different way. But so is he. So if you guys don't know the story, let's just give a quick synopsis to the story. But before we do that, let's start. I always start the live streams with a prayer. So I want to start that same way and pray for the people that's watching. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you humbly, God. Thank you for everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching. I ask that you bless them, their family members, God, as they're getting to and from where they need to go today. I ask that you cover them, give them travel and mercy. God, I ask that anything that I say that's correct, let it be clear that it came from you, and anything incorrect, let it be clear that it came from me. And we're so grateful for this platform to share entertainment, information, and build with each other. In Jesus' name, amen. He developed a company, a nonprofit, and we're going to talk about how a lot of, in the Black community, especially right now, I don't know about other communities, but I could speak to our community, the Black and brown community. Nonprofits are like a new hustle to people or something. I don't know what people think. Like, I know everybody and their mama got a nonprofit, and it's like a new hustle to people where they think that they gonna, get people to donate to their nonprofit and then take the money out of the nonprofit and use it for their personal expenses and not get caught up in trouble. It's like one of them new hustles that everybody is flocking to. But I don't know if Big U had that intention. Maybe he did, but that's part of the reason he's in jail federally right now. They've arrested him for that. We're going to get into all that in a second. I'm going to show you guys some articles and how Shaq and all this other stuff ties into it. He developed a nonprofit called Developing Options. Now, this is a nonprofit organization. He started it in 2004, and he created it to give the youth in Los Angeles, a certain area of Los Angeles, choices beyond gang violence and drugs and crimes and different things like that. So he provided resources. And the reason that I tell you guys the scripture that I started this with, which is in the book of Luke in chapter 9, is I think it's like verse 60 or 62, where Jesus says, no one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. Basically, what that means is when you're doing something positive and God gives you the opportunity to do something different, you don't look back. You don't look back. And you don't spit on the blessing, essentially. So Big U started this nonprofit, Developing Options, with the intentions of doing things the right way. I want to assume, I hope that that's what his intentions was. But he used the nonprofit to rob a bunch of celebrities, according to the feds that have arrested him. And he used the shield of the nonprofit in the community to keep the police off him while he was still committing crimes and running the Crips, a faction of the Crips, which is the Rolling 60s. Which, you know, he's been a member of for a long time, and they call him a leader. So I want to show you guys some details on this before we get too far in depth on this and start breaking this down. I want to show you guys some details on this. I see Richmond in the chat. I see everybody here. Peace and love, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Let's get into the details of exactly what was reported and what he's arrested for and all this different stuff, because I thought this was super interesting information and a teachable moment. It says donations from Shaquille O'Neal, Draymond Green, allegedly embezzled by Crips leader who also is accused of murder. So that's part of his arrest too. He's arrested for a RICO, which basically he has a lot of charges, including being the leader of a mafia style organization, which is what the feds are saying. And under that is a bunch of crimes that they, have him on. It says a pair of 5-figure donations came from NBA figures, Shaquille O'Neal and Draymond Green, and they were allegedly embezzled by a Crips gang leader. And this is according to the report from LA Times. And they detail, and I'm going to put the LA Times up here in a second. They detailed a bunch of allegations against him. Said, among other things, federal authorities have accused Eugene Big U Henley, described as the leader of the Rolling 60 set of Crips, of murder, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, and fraud. The gravest accusations against Eugene Henley is the alleged murder of a musician identified only with the initials RW, who was signed to Henley's label and recorded a defamatory song, basically a diss record, after a payment disagreement. Big U activities allegedly crossed over to the world of sports with donations from Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, and Draymond Green that are worth $20,000 to his nonprofit, Developing Options. Authorities allege Henley committed wire fraud by embezzling more than $100,000 in donations from the nonprofit. So basically, let me finish this article. We'll get through it. It goes on to say, per the Times, Green wrote a check, Draymond wrote a check to Developing Options in 2019 with all $20,000 getting transferred to Big U's personal checking account. You cannot do that. All the people out there that's listening, all the entrepreneurs, all the people that's in business, you cannot just get a donation and transfer it to your personal account because somebody donated. But a lot of us out there think that this is the way that we're going to hustle. It's crazy to me, but that's what people think. It says Shaq wrote a check for Developing Options and the Crenshaw Rams, which is a youth sports team in LA. And it said most of that money went to Big U's account as well. Additionally, it's alleged that a professional boxer identified only as AB was accused of cheating unidentified NBA players out of millions of dollars in a rigged dice game. Big U allegedly sent associates to rough up the boxer and get the NBA players' monies back. I have Big U right here. I'm about to play a video for you guys of him basically admitting this on camera, which is, I don't know. But him and Shaq was sitting down doing an interview, talking to each other, and Big U admitted to some of the stuff that's being accused, that he's being alleged of. So that's for everybody to be like, oh, that's snitching. But bro, he told on himself, which is going around, man, a lot. I also want to talk about some of the other stuff that's going on in entertainment, but let's get through this. It says, Big U also reportedly once recounted how he got into it with AB after the boxer allegedly cheated a current NBA All-Star out of $1.5 million and a former NBA All-Star out of $5 million, while mentioning a charge of $100,000 from the players to get their money back. So basically, Big U charged NBA players $100,000 each to get, the $1.5 million back after it was stolen. So, excuse me. So there was that going on. Hold on, you guys. I know we're on live stream. This is my wife. Hold on. What's up, Ed? I'm streaming. What's going on? Is it an emergency? All right, fine. Not an emergency. My bad, y'all. My wife forgot I was streaming. So Big U basically charged these players 100 bands and said, I'll go get your stuff back. Now, let me give y'all the old LA rope-a-dope, the okey doke, the banana in the tailpipe. I'm going to charge you $100,000 for somebody that I sent down there to steal it from you. I'm going to send my homie. I'm not saying that this happened. I'm just saying that this is an old hood. This is not even just an LA thing. This is just a hood thing. The old hood banana in the tailpipe. You feel me? Pause. I'm going to send these people down there to rob you. Once you get robbed, I'm going to charge you $100,000 for me to get it back for you. That's how it be going. Hit the like button. Get the likes up if you guys just coming in. I appreciate you guys being here. I see you guys in the chat. Everybody say Adrian Broner, right? Well, who else do we know as AB? But, right? So, that's how it goes. But let's continue with the article. It says a cooperating witness reportedly claims he knew of times in which NBA players or celebrities would need to get approval from Big U to ensure their safety at parties and other events, with celebrities paying Big U for protection and approval or face retaliation from the Big U enterprise. The 58-year-old Henley faces up to 20 years in prison on a RICO charge and could get life in prison if convicted of murder. He's already been to prison and done a stretch. So, and it was for like kidnapping and some extortion type of stuff before. So this don't look good to be back in there in the feds for this type of thing. And at 58 years old, as somebody that by the grace of God, I've been able to survive the streets, been shot 4 times, been through the streets, 2-strike felon myself in California, been incarcerated, been through all this, robbed people, did all that. And only by the grace of God and by putting my hand to the plow and not looking back, have I been able to escape this life. I can speak to this type of stuff, man. This dude didn't put his hand to the plow. He looked back. You had all the opportunity, privilege, and position in the world to do something positive. But you get caught up doing this. And at 58 years old, you do not want to be in jail no more, man. Like it's nobody wants to be in jail. But at that age, oh, man. It's heartbreaking to go have to sit and do a day, a week. Me at 30 years old. Look, when I was locked up young, when I was young, going through that street stuff, the stupid stuff that I did. At 30 years old, 35, they calling you OG in there because it's 19 and 20-year-olds in there. You 35 and you in jail, they be like, what's up, OG? You be like, dang, OG, I'm 35. So at 58 years old, the last thing you want to be doing is living out a street fantasy and going and sitting in jail. But this is the position he's in. Because like I said, when you put your hand to the plow, you're not supposed to look back. When you get an opportunity to do something different, you're not supposed to look back. So this is where Big U is, man. So that's what he's being accused of. I want to show you guys in the interview where he was sitting down talking to Shaq about all this. And he told Shaq, basically, he gave a whole playbook on how it works and the breakdown of it. I want you guys to hear it for yourself. Because when I heard it, I'm like, man, he in jail for this right now. And him and Shaq sitting there talking about it and he did cut some stuff out. You could, when you see it, you guys are not gonna be able to see it, but you'll hear it. But if you want, you can go back and watch it. You'll see how he cut some stuff out. He tried to not say certain stuff, but I mean, it just was what it was. So it's Big U, Shaq, and Shaq's big homie from the streets. I'm not gonna name him. Y'all can go watch the interview. And I want to show you guys what Big U said about friendly extortion in LA. And then we'll get back into this in a second and get more in depth with this. Check this out.
Respect somebody, you don't always listen to them. Right. Like, hey man, don't go over there. And the crazy thing, I be certain places, I don't know how the hell you know. Hey man, stay your ass up out of this. How you know? You don't stay up out of this. Got it. Right. Got it. Right. Stay up out of this.
So y'all hear Shaq talking.
You probably don't remember this year. I'm gonna give you a Big U story. Okay. I was in Vegas. And one of your little homies from the 60s that got out of pocket. And he didn't know who I was. And I called you on the phone. And you got on the phone with him. But then the next day, I just happened just to be calling him. And me and him from that day, me and him, we've been tight. Right. I mean, you know, it's just really about respect, though. Because sometimes...
That's Big U talking.
Because me, I'm big on respect. I'm big on respecting anybody. It ain't really a lot about, because I don't charge niggas nothing, I don't ask people for nothing. I'm going to be, because I look at it to build bridges. Like, I might be in your city and be at your PS. So I don't even remember the incident all the way. I just know we always called each other. I can call Shaq, I can call you. If I'm in Atlanta, I can call you. You know what I mean? And the thing is, he trusts me with his sons, and you trust me with your son. You know what I mean? You call me, my son moved around. My son want to meet you. I called your son this morning trying to get your number. And that's what people don't understand. It's not even about checking in. It's about, of course, when you build that relationship and you build that bond across states and cities, I can call Trick from anywhere. I can call Trick, Benny, Dave, and tell them, my sons is coming to your cities now. My son's going to be out there. And that's what's important, man. That's how the politics, because Shaq's heart is so big. So when the NBA players would come to LA, and some rappers, they would get booked. Yeah. And he would get on the phone to get their shit back. You know, and that's where you at? Who took it? And then that's when you got to pick up the line. You know, Del Dog, Big U, Wacko, you know. Snap. Yeah, hey, let him off the truck, man. Let him out the truck and give him a straight from the table, man.
They laughing about it, but it ain't funny no more. And Shaq even said it. He was like, strike that from the tape. If y'all didn't hear that, Shaq was like, strike that from the tape, man. Because what Big U laughing about is like, look, man, I'm gonna play the rest in a second. Let me say this though. If you don't know the street, I don't even want to go there. The banana in the tailpipe, the okie doke, the smoke and mirrors is you think Big U saving you, but really Big U on the other end of that phone, like, y'all got them? Okay, y'all got everything? Y'all got the jewelry? Okay, I need y'all to go this way. It's easier for me to look like a hero when I'm the one that set up everything that's going on. Does that make sense to everybody in the chat? I see the IE checking in. Salute to the IE. We in here. Like, I'm going to give y'all a scenario. I'm not even going to say Big U. I'm going to give y'all a scenario. You come to my city. Somebody I know robs you. Or I let you let me know that you're going to be in my city because you think I'm protecting you. I'm just giving a scenario. I ain't saying big you. I'm just giving a scenario. Let's use Will Evans, hypothetically. You come to my city. Will Evans says, you call Will and you say, hey, bro, I'm going to be there on this day at this time. My flight landed this time. Can you look out when I get to the hotel? Okay, cool. You get there. On your way to the hotel, you get robbed. Who the first person you're going to call to get your stuff back or to look out for you? Will. You call Will. They got you. Okay, don't worry about that. I'm going to make sure that I take care of that. That's on your end. But on my end, as soon as you tell me your flight and all that stuff, I get on my phone and go, hey, his flight landed this time. He going to be there doing this. This is what's going to happen. He getting in this car. He going to the hotel. I already got all the information. You need to get him by this time. And then when you got, you call me and I go, oh, okay, I get it back for you. Hey, he just called. Don't trip. Y'all got him. He told me. Give me the chain back. I'm gonna go get 100,000. I give y'all 5 each. That's how it be going in the streets. To be real with y'all. So you think like, oh, check in with the big homie, and man, the big homie that don't got no relationship with you, the big homie that don't know you like that, the big homie that only know you as a celebrity, and his bills is paid off of. Man, look, let's finish letting Shaq and Big U go back and forth. Y'all heard what he said? I'm gonna rewind that. I'm gonna let y'all hear that again. Big U said, hey, you gotta know the dude that take it. You gotta know the dude. How I'm gonna get it back if I don't know him? That's what he told Shaq. Check it out.
But the crazy part about it was the bureaucracy of the LA life. We would try to assign certain people to move around with some of the ball players. Yeah. Just so that they could enjoy themselves because they was naive to politics of the streets. Right. And they be like, oh no, I got my own security. Like, who? Like, all right here with the thing in his head. He gonna save you? Okay. All right. And then 2 hours later, when you security, I don't know where he at. I took my hair ready. I took the watch, man. All right, man, we get it back. Because LA politics is crazy. I'm gonna revisit it, then we gotta close it out. But what people don't understand when you come to LA is different because in LA, everybody can't carry a gun. Correct. Not even certain off-duty police and security cannot land in LA with a gun. Mm-hmm. And if you're an ex-felon, like rappers, you can't even be with somebody who has a gun. Correct. Because you're an ex-felon. So he can't even secure you with a gun. Correct. And then when they moved, I think they changed the law in 95, even off-duty prison goers can't do security no more with a gun. So LA dudes know that. Mm-hmm. LA dudes know he came in, we own him for the. And they don't understand that. Like, so when people be coming to the town, they be like, oh, it's only so much they can do, man.
So I want to show you guys. That's what Big U and Shaq was talking about. And now Big U is arrested for robbing Shaq. Not gun in the face robbing him, but you having them put money into your account. Big U had Shaq donate money and then embezzled the money from the donations, is what they're accusing him of. Like, bro, I sent $20,000 for some kids and then you put it in your account. That's crazy. And we sitting here laughing. And from what I understand, Shaq has been supporting Big U for a while. Look, man, this is the kind of stuff that gives nonprofits a bad name. Like, that's one of them hustles that in the hood that people think that it is like the finesse. Like, I'm going to get a bunch of people to just donate to me and I'm going to take the money and do what I want with it. That's not how it works, bro. The Fed's watching you. You can't just do anything. So I want to show you guys this too. This is a lawyer from LA. She breaking it down. I think she a lawyer. I want to show you guys what she had to say about this because I thought her breakdown was interesting. Check it out.
All of these people were arrested by the FBI on charges including the Big M, fraud, extortion, robbery, and violating the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, aka a RICO. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I read all
Okay, she not a lawyer.
7 pages of the criminal complaint. So let me tell you what the feds are saying happened. So this first complaint, and I'm only saying first because there's only 7 people listed, but 19 people were arrested. So this complaint specifically accuses 3 people of violating the RICO Act. There's this man, Eugene Henley Jr., aka Big U, who the feds say is the leader of the Big U enterprise. And then there's this man whose name is Sylvester Robinson, who the feds say is Henley's right-hand man. And then the third person is this man whose name is Mark Martin, who the feds say was a close friend of Henley, as well as a trusted lieutenant in the Big U enterprise. Now, while the feds allege that these 3 people and people known and unknown to them are members and associates of the Rolling 60s street gang, they call out that the Big U enterprise is separate from the Rolling 60s and exists all on its own. So before I go through the specifics, let me give you a quick refresher. So RICO charge means that prosecutors are saying that this group of people, or what they refer to as an enterprise, all work.
We know what a RICO is basically. It's a crazy situation, man. Now, what do we learn just for us that's watching? One, you can't build a person. This is something that I want everybody to kind of pick up off this. If you're from urban environments, understand that just look at the landscape of everything that's happened this week in entertainment, in hip hop entertainment, right? You got what's the boy in Dallas? Beezy, Yellow Beezy, who's picked up for the murder of, if we just look at the recent, even all the recent, situations. Yellow Beezy picked up for the murder for hire. He hired somebody allegedly. He was arrested for hiring somebody to murder Mo3, who's another Dallas rapper. Look at what happened with Lil Durk. Lil Durk allegedly hired some people to murder the little boy from the South, Rondo. Sauce Walker just got shot. Another rapper got shot in Memphis. Big U arrested on a RICO charge for extortion and checking in, making people check in, charging people $100,000, and another murder case. And look at all these situations. If you we ain't got to go back to the Casanova from New York or the 6ix9ine case or all these other the Diddy's RICO case or all this different stuff that's going on. It tells you that you cannot build a personal brand on ignorance. You cannot build a personal brand on the streets. Big U had a whole podcast called Checking In. You can't build a personal brand or a business based on the streets. And a lot of us from these environments, because we don't really know much different in business, our only leverage piece is being real and really coming from it, that we start thinking that you could build a business around that stuff, and you can't. You can't monetize street stuff. Not long term. You can make a couple dollars off of it temporarily, but you can't build a brand off of it, because what comes with it, you won't survive it. Whether either your freedom is going to be taken or your life is going to be taken. And it's just on top of that, the way technology is set up these days, it just don't mix. It don't mix. The cameras got it. The police got it. They got all the evidence. They got all the anything that you're getting away with is only because they allowing you to get away with it. For the most part, 95% of the time in these times. Every time we see one of these cases, they got pictures, they got photos, they got so much evidence that the feds is coming, man. They let it build like that. And if you guys ain't paying attention, if you out there and you ain't paying attention, there's a software update in society There's a software update in society where these people is tired of crime being allowed to profit. And they're not just coming with the state cases no more. They bring in the feds. They letting you stack it up, stack the crimes up, please. And then we're going to send a federal RICO. I remember Big U saying one time I was listening to an interview of his, and he said that he would never be charged in a RICO. Ironically, he said he would never be charged in a RICO because there's no leader of the Crips, and you can't really pin the whole organization of the Crips on one person. Well, they did it, bro. They just did. You know, that thought process of I could do anything, I could say anything, because they can't do that. That's like how 20-year-olds talk. Like, you know, when you fresh out of high school and you think, and you be like, no, they can't do that. Like, you talking about somebody in a position of authority, whether it's a police officer or it could be a job, the boss at your job, or it could be anywhere. You know how you be talking like that when you're young? They can't do that. They can do whatever they want to do. My father used to tell me, you got to play by the rules on some level. And nothing can go the right way if you're not doing things the right way. So I coach entrepreneurs. That's my business, right? I used to work with companies. Now I work directly with entrepreneurs. When I teach entrepreneurs from the hood how to be successful, because they come to me a lot of times trying to figure out, Will, how can I make money using the internet? I'm trying to build a brand, and I'm talking about these dudes I come from it, so they feel comfortable talking to me on a certain level. And I always tell them the same thing when I'm mentoring. You cannot build a personal brand off crime. Stop thinking you're going, I'm a rap or that's cool and all that, and I'm not opposed to none of that. I'm just from a branding and a business perspective. You can't do it off of crime. It has to be a different story. It can't be I'm the realest from the hood and I killed and shot this many people and I'm a banger, I'm a gang banger, and all that don't work long term. And I will be foul not to tell you that, because I know better. And what I see in this situation with Big U and this whole thing is somebody that is from an older generation, and he don't really understand the software update. He didn't really understand the software update. The things that you could get away with back in his time, you just can't get away with no more. That's just what it is. And he's been allowed to get away with a lot for a long period of time. So you feel like I'm getting away with it. Look, he's been accused. Man, he's been accused of so much. Let me show you guys this. Let me show you this right here, man. This is the LA Times article on this. It says, and just in general, man, when you get on the internet, you start talking about what you used to do as a crime or what crimes, you locking yourself into a story, man. The police love that. The district attorney love that. When you lock yourself into a story, because you can never come out of it. Look, 107, it says it's a 107-page federal complaint against Big U and others, RICO indictment. It says Henley is an admitted member and OG of the Rolling 60s Crips. He's been on camera. They got him on camera saying how he's the leader of this. Law enforcement called Henley a leader within the Rolling 60s, but a gang interventionist in LA said there is no leader. He added that the group is not a structured gang. There's no hierarchy. You think they give a man? Listen, you think you're gonna sell that story? They ain't buying it if you selling it cheap, dog. And it could be 100% the truth. They don't care. You're placing yourself in a position where you look like the leader, so they're gonna go at you differently. You're publicly saying people have to come. You're accepting the praise of people got to come check in with me, which places you as the leader of an organization publicly. And the feds is going to look at it and they're going to use that in court. You said on this interview that people got to check in with you to get they jewelry back. You said that and I got a homie that I love. He run with Big U and them. So when I'm speaking to this, man, listen, I'm speaking to you guys from experience. I'm speaking to you guys real. And as somebody that I don't have no problem with Big U. I got homies that love him. I ain't never met Big U personally, but my homies I love. And they be with him all the time. But right is right and wrong is wrong, bro. And I just see OG he didn't understand. You don't understand the software update. They thought that was going to be enough. Like there's no leader, there's no hierarchy. It's not structured as a gang is what the quote says. They don't care. It says, what is Big U accused of? After years-long FBI investigation, they've been looking at this man for years. Federal authorities have accused Henley of kidnapping and fatally shooting a young rapper in the face and leaving his body in the Las Vegas desert over perceived disrespect. Here's another thing, man. You know what we're gonna do when we get to community hour? In community hour, we talk as entrepreneurs. We just have entrepreneur talk, and we start. I always start with the current events and the entertainment news of the day, and then we have a broader conversation as entrepreneurs and just as business people and people that want to aspire to be entrepreneurs. We talk like that because that's the perspective I speak from. But we're gonna talk today about why Black people never have success. Why it's so hard for Black people to have success in business from our communities, from the hood. Not all Black people, but y'all know what I'm saying. It says he's also accused of directing robbery of an unlicensed marijuana dispensary that has stopped making extortion payments. Henley also allegedly defrauded companies, donors, athletes, and celebrities, including professional basketball players Draymond Green and Shaquille O'Neal, persuading them to donate to his charities and then later allegedly transferring the money to his own personal bank accounts. Says authorities, which is so foul because I know, like, when somebody is donating money, man, they're doing it out off the strength and off the love. They're going, Merle, I love you. I support what you're doing. I'm about to send you $20,000 just on the love. And you take it and you rob them for it, bro. You put it in your personal account. You don't give it to the kids. That's foul. It says authorities have also accused Big U of fraudulently obtaining funding from the Gang Reduction and Youth Development Program, GRID program, overseen by the LA Mayor's office. His nonprofit, Developing Options, was allotted $2.35 million from the city from 2018 to 2023. Henley's organization is one of more than 20 involved in GRID, according to the city. In a statement, the mayor's press secretary said the city has zero tolerance for malfeasance. Malfeasance? I don't know. I ain't never seen that word. And over the past 2 years, increased oversight on GRID programs. Says the city has strict oversight in place. However, the complaint alleges that a sophisticated effort to thwart oversight for many avenues of funding, including the city. This alleged act does not reflect the work of the GRID program overall, which has helped lead a dramatic decrease in gang-related violence citywide 2 years in a row. So the city is saying that the program did help, but like I said in the beginning of the live stream, Jesus said it perfectly. Jesus Christ said it perfectly. The person that puts his hands to the plow and look back is not worthy. If you put your hands to do the work and you do the right, and it's like time to go forward and do the right thing, and then you look back because you don't want the homies from the hood to feel like you somebody different than what you were, then that's on you. The consequences that come from it. If you look back because you don't want the homies from the hood to feel like, man, you changing, or man, you doing some GRID program, man, it don't end well. So Big U's statement in response was, all y'all who be sending ish around the internet, promoting and listening to what they're saying, all of y'all supporting this. Bro, although Henley did not specifically address the murder in his videos, he called the allegations bullcrap. What crimes am I committing to cover up with Developing Options? I ain't committed no crimes and covered up anything with Developing Options. I don't think that they're going to charge you with transferring donations out into a personal account unless they have the account. We talking about the feds, man. We ain't talking about the state. They got to have some type of evidence to make that charge, to just present the charge. I guess there's a human trafficking part of this where it says, according to the complaint, Big U allegedly paid somebody $1,000 to transport 3 women from Vegas to from California to Vegas for prostitution. That's another one. I remember when that society software updated, when it wasn't just pimping and pandering anymore, it was human trafficking. A lot of the older generation, they don't understand. Like, nah, when you look, this is for my fellas out there. This is a lesson for the young fellas, the homies, people that don't know no better. Even if this is on that trafficking stuff, even if you hit a woman in the DMs and you text her in the DMs and you say, I'll buy your flight and I'll buy you a Birkin or whatever. I'll buy you a bag, a purse when you get here. That's human trafficking if you're doing it with the intent to sleep with the woman. So be careful. I know it's crazy. I know, I'm just telling y'all the law. That's technically human trafficking. They could charge you for that. So be careful when we sliding in DMs and we doing all the extras. So something that's like this, it could have been that Big U just said, you know what, I gave y'all $1,000 just to get there. And then the women decided to engage in prostitution when they got there. Because he gave them $1,000 to get there, he's responsible, is how the feds look at it, which is crazy. It says Henley allegedly later said on a wiretap call that investigators were going to charge the guy that he paid with trafficking based on a recording they had of Henley saying that he could find the women for them. So they got him wiretapped and all that. This is what I'm saying. When it comes to the feds, they ain't playing games, bro. And they said that they've been watching them for years. Which is crazy. It's not unbelievable, but it's crazy. So Big U said, so you're going to get me and say my crime is sending girls money for sex. Is that my crime? Adult girls too? You hear me? It's not like it's some kids. Not like it's a boy. This is what Big U said on the wiretap. He said, we talking about grown ass women. They don't care, brother. The police don't care if it's a 85-year-old woman. If you send them out there, oh man, his case crazy, bro. His case is crazy. This is somebody that a lot of people ain't gonna have sympathy for Big U, because look, when you are perceived as a monster in the community, when you perceived as like this big like goon, people be happy that you gone, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying me, because I don't really nothing. I just don't look at Big U like some super villain, but a lot of people do. And then people be happy that you're gone. I seen this one girl who's a rapper from Death Row. She said, you know, she happy that he gone. Look at this. It says Big U accused of arranging the murder of Nipsey Hussle by former Death Row rapper SKG. SKG is celebrating the recent arrest of Big U, who turned himself in but denied the RICO charges against him. And we know that he's been, turned in. It says, where did it go? She called him an exploitative, abusive monster who arranged for people to jump on her on numerous occasions and extorted others in order to not work with her. So these details are unconfirmed. That's what she's saying. People like that, there's a million people like her walking around, happy that he ain't here, happy that he in jail. So that's the story on Big U, man. It's a crazy thing. Let's get into our community hour, where we're going to talk from the entrepreneur perspective about the topic at hand. And we're going to give a different perspective. And this is for all my people in business, all my entrepreneurs out there that's watching, and everybody that's trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to make money in business outside of their 9-to-5 or doing it. Just let's talk about today. This is what we're going to talk about today, man. Let's talk about some of the reasons that we don't succeed as Black people coming from the hood in business. In business. One reason, emotions. I think this is the biggest reason that Black people have a really tough time being successful in business, is our emotions. We want to feel like everything makes sense instead of just doing business the right way. Our feelings get us caught up every single time. I see you guys in the chat. We want respect. We want attention. We want praise. And when I look at this situation, it's like, even if it's for the wrong thing, we want the praise, admiration, attention, and respect of people that it just don't make sense, man. I think that's one of our biggest flaws is our feelings. We allow our feelings to get caught up in everything related to business, man. And then right after our feelings, I think it's wanting to be cool to people that ain't even valuable to society. And that's why I started with the scripture is Luke 9 and 60, chapter 9, verse 62. And y'all tell me in the chat what y'all think is some of the reasons that our people don't succeed in business. Because when you look at a situation like Big U, it's like, bro, you had every opportunity, multiple opportunities. You work with Nipsey Hussle. He had every celebrity know him. You know what I'm saying? You had the opportunity to work with so many different celebrities. How is this even possible for it to be a story? It should have been a complete redemptive story. And this is why I start with that scripture, which is when Jesus said, you put the hands to the plow. If you look back, you ain't worthy of the kingdom of God. You're not fit for it, is what Jesus said. Because what you looking back for? I'm giving you blessings. I'm giving you all the blessings in the world. What you looking back for? What's back there? This is why, by the grace of God, I became a millionaire 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. By the grace of God, I was wise enough to not say, you know what, I'm gonna stay where I'm from. I gotta put a business where I'm from. Man, F all that. Forget that. Y'all gotta come. Look, this is me. Y'all gotta come here. I'm not coming down here. I get clients from my clients, because I built a business coach and entrepreneurs. My clients from people that, not even my clients, people that come from where I come from want to be my clients. And I've been wise enough in my success to say, no, I'm not going to do that. Look, this is something I tell people because this is a flaw in our community. We think that we have to give, like, how can I explain this in a way that people will understand? Because I come from the hood, because I come from this culture and these environments, my success could be the downfall of me. Your success could be the downfall of you when you really come from it. The person that doesn't understand business, doesn't understand money, and never had nothing, they're going to ask you for money. Because of the love that you have for them and the loyalty that you have for the environment that you come from and your unwillingness to make new friends and to separate yourself, you're going to give them $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 if you had a level of success that I've had. I've been wise enough to avoid this. So I'll give you a scenario. I give my homie $5,000 because I love him. He just got home from jail. I give him $5,000, get him on his feet. And I come from it. We grew up together. I'm successful in business now, bro. I'm a great, I become great in the field of entrepreneurship. Here's $5,000. I love you. Get your life together. Get started. Go open a business. I'm thinking, from my perspective, he gonna do what I did, which is start a business, flip the money, get real estate, do something positive. But because of the circumstances that we come from, that he's still under and still operating under the mentality of, he takes the $5,000, he go buy a bunch of drugs with it. Because he can't think past the environment of where we come from. This is why success is something that you become, and it's not something that you obtain. You become successful. You don't obtain success. What does that mean? That means success starts internally. It starts in the mind and in the heart. It's something you become even before the money comes in. It's not something you get. So because of the circumstances in that scenario that the homie is from, he buys drugs with it because he can't think past, I know how to flip this. He can't think, put 2,000 in stocks, put 3,000 into go get me a used car, take the used car, fix it up, flip it. I'm still gonna have this in my pocket. He can't think like that. I can give you 100 scenarios on how you could flip $5,000 because I do that for a living. Not flip money, but I teach people how to make money and more money and how to optimize their businesses for a living. So I can give you 100,000 scenarios, but he can't even think of one in this scenario that I'm giving you guys. So what happens? He takes the money, he goes, he gets the drugs, he sells the drugs, he sells it to an undercover cop, or he does something stupid, he get caught. They're going to say, you're fresh out of jail. Where did you get $5,000? Right? It's a valid question that the police are going to ask. You're fresh out of jail. Where'd you get $5,000? Because of him knowing that Will is successful, my dog, he gave it to me. It's legal money. There's no hesitation for him to tell the police, my dog gave me that $5,000. Like, it ain't, what you talking about? Like, this is legal money. They go, the federal, now it becomes a federal thing because it's an organization or a state RICO, either way. But they go, oh, your rich homie gave you $5,000? They go start looking at me. And then we both go to jail. Because they tell you, because you saying that means I'm funding crime. Because of where I come from, I go down for what I've achieved. My success brings me down because of just where I come from. And I would, in that scenario, would be telling the police, yo, I gave him $5,000 because he's my friend. I grew up with him. I'm a millionaire. Yeah, I gave him $5,000. It's my dog. I love him. He like family, whatever. And they go, no. You just funded crime. You're going to jail too. That's funding crime. And because I'm not an angel, because me personally, I'm not an angel in their eyes, no matter how much transformation I had, and no matter getting baptized and by the grace of God, overcoming it and building this successful business, faith-based business and all that. Because I coach entrepreneurs from a biblical perspective. I show them scripture and, right? The police don't care about none of that. All they care about is you and I'm gonna speak plainly. I ain't a preacher or pastor. I'm gonna speak plainly. You a nigga from the hood. He a nigga from the hood. And you had some money and you made some success of yourself. We don't know how or care how, but we know you funding crime. Both of y'all going to jail. And because I'm not an angel, and because me personally, I'm a 2-strike felon, and I got violence on my record, and I got crimes that the police go, he's a part of this. We both go. So I'm saying that to say, as entrepreneurs that's coming from the hood, minorities coming from the hood as entrepreneurs, when we have success, a lot of times we're not able to sustain it because we come from the hood. And that's just one scenario that it could go bad. And it not even be your intentions. This is why Jesus says, when you put the hands to the plow, don't look back. It's a great principle to follow. I move and you keep moving, you keep moving, you make new friends. You find people that are on the same level of success as you. Now, as far as the personal part, the personal branding part, I think this is what hurts us a lot too. We try to make the hood our personal brand when we come from the hood as entrepreneurs. You cannot make the hood your personal brand and have success long term, because the hood they don't like you doing good when you're in the hood. When you're living there physically from there, they don't like you seeing you do good. I used to drive, when I was 19, I had a 745 Li BMW, right? 22-inch Ashanti rims. Gray, I come through the hood, everybody knew I was a hustler, even then. It's not even a surprise. Where I come from, it's not a surprise that I became a millionaire at 27, 28 years old. It's a surprise maybe I did it legally. To be honest with you guys, it might be a big surprise that I follow God the way I follow God now. I had a 745 Li BMW. Nice. Come through the hood. I would go to see my girlfriend. I'm parking. Everything I did, every time I would go anywhere, like anywhere in my environment, I'm parking or I'm circling the block. I'm parking in a place where nobody gonna just do something stupid like throw a diaper on my car, a dirty diaper on my car, or key my car just because it's the nicest car on the block. Just key his car. What am I saying that to say? The hood don't even like success when you having success in the hood. You think they like it when you get out of it? You a mirror to them. You remind them of everything that they have not accomplished, even though they came from the same obstacles or easier obstacles than you. When people come from the same place and they haven't been through what you've been through, it's very antagonizing to see somebody that comes from across the street make these millions of dollars and they can't figure out how to get. I'm very aware of it. our people sometimes don't be aware of it. Now, one of the greatest things that I didn't do was allow gang culture to help me create my success. See, this is something that happens too. A lot of people try to build their brand off of gang culture, and then to get the gang to promote them from the hood. That's a lot of dudes' business play. They try to, I'm a create this. I'm a create. I don't care if it's a restaurant, and they try to get the hood to support their restaurant. We've seen this 100 times, right? I'm gonna get the whole hood to come out. And then what happens is when you have enough success, the whole hood say, we responsible for that. You owe us. I'll never forget talking to one of my homies, Gutter Matt, from where I'm from the city that I'm from, I should say. And he active. And one of the times Gutter told me, he said, bro, the best thing that you got going for you is not getting involved in all this. Because can't nobody say that you owe them nothing. Anytime he get an opportunity, everybody like come to him like, bro, what's up? You got to kick back to the hood. I didn't play that. When I was coming up, I was willing to be more violent than the violent people in order to make it clear that I'm not playing that. And it just is what it is. I'd rather die or do life in prison than to owe you and be a slave to you because you think you had something to do with my success. And God forbid any of that ever happened. But it never did. By the grace of God, I was able to make it out of that. But it didn't come without shootouts. I've been in a few. It didn't come without all that. It came with it. And I got the wounds. I'm wearing them from different situations. So our people from them environments, man. And normally you guys know I'll come on here, we'll talk about business, and it comes very polished because I've been doing this for a long time. And I might say, go to the masterclass. And if you guys want to get the masterclass, this month we're teaching on personal branding. Maybe I should plug it. But I just want to talk real to my people for a second on this situation. But let's take a quick break. Let's plug it. I'm gonna teach personal branding on the masterclass this month. If you guys in there every month, you guys know we do really well. Go to ulegend.com, ulgnd.com for mentoring, the masterclass, and different things like that. And then if you don't know how to make money, if you're not making money and you over 40 years old, I got a workshop coming for you guys specifically. Go to the workshop, put your information in, join the wait list, and I'm going to help you guys as somebody that's made millions of dollars using the internet. I'm going to help you guys learn how to start creating a full-time income doing part-time work. I don't want to do too much of that today, of promoting. I just want to let you guys know it's available for you. ulegend.com is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. But it's so hard to teach our people that this world don't matter. Like I try to coach when I do get clients, because we get all different types of clients from all walks of life. And I got an office in downtown Riverside. Pull up. Not literally, but y'all know what I mean. But I coach all type of people. The hardest people to change up here is the people that come from where I come from. Because what's sold on social media is that can pay off one day, and it just can't. The people that you think is paying off for is not paying off for, man. I never forget 50 Cent saying that he was talking to Ari Melber, who was a newscaster, and he's like, man, the thing I feel the most guilty about is misleading people, misleading the youth about what it takes to become successful. He said, because if I'd have continued being the person that I was, I would not be who I am today. He was like, I was absolutely crazy, Ari, when he's talking to Ari Melber. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, I'm 38. Can you make an exception for the classes? Yeah, no, the classes is for everybody. Anybody can join. It's just I created it for the workshop. I created it specifically for 40-year-olds. But you could join if you coming up on 40, then you apply. Go ahead. It'll work for you. Because I just want to teach. The reason I did it is because I created that workshop specifically, that product for my mom. not directly for her, but for people in her situation. Well, I was like, man, my mom would ask me questions about how did you make all this money on the internet? I was like, I'm gonna create a workshop. It's a 3-day workshop where I teach people this is how you're gonna create a personal brand that pays you regardless. That's what the masterclass is about this month. I do a unique lesson for every month for the masterclass. This is gonna be my last one for right now. But the 40 and up workshop is just teaching people over that age or coming up on that age. You know, if you need to retire, you don't have no retirement. I feel bad for that, man. Especially when I know I don't use no social media for free. I got hundreds of thousands of followers on every platform, four monetized YouTube channels, 3 monetized TikToks, I believe. And then I got 3 monetized Instagrams. I would never post anything for free. I just don't understand it. And when I seen that so many people use the internet for free, especially at that age, when you guys have the most wisdom, I said, oh yeah, we got to help you guys. So that's what that workshop is about. It's a 3-day workshop. I've been doing this for almost a decade, a little over a decade, maybe. What is it? 25. So yeah, over a decade, 11 years. I've been doing this. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make that money on using the internet, whatever platform you use. Even if you don't have a following, I can teach you how to use the internet to make money. You don't have to have a social media following. It's not a social media course. It's an internet course. So whatever it is, but we'll go through that. So you guys go to the website, ulegend.com, to answer your question. It's 40 and up internet workshop. Go over there, ulgnd.com, short for Urban Legend. Hit this button right here and fill out your waitlist form. So we got a lot of people in there, a couple hundred people in there. So go over to the website and check it out. You guys, and if you can't get in there, if you can't afford nothing, go join our entrepreneur networking group, which is ULegend Millionaires. It's free. You go over there to the website, scroll down, put your email address in, or hit the Millionaires tab, and we'll get you in the entrepreneur group, get you some free resources to get you guys started as entrepreneurs. Also, the masterclass is available. If you want to learn how to personal brand, it's available. But like I was saying, you guys, when you come from our environments, it takes a different level. So this is a lesson that I teach our people, people that just come from the world I came from. I'm not in that world no more, but I came from that. This is a simple thing that we do, right? Look, this simple mannerism right here. Y'all see, sometimes I might talk like this and then I'll catch myself and I relax my eyebrows. That's just that. Is a simple mannerism that we could work on coming from them environment. It's like everything about the hood is counterproductive to your success. What we teach, mind your business, don't talk to nobody. You can't be successful like that. Mind your business, don't pocket watch. How will you ever know you're never gonna know what money is? You know how many people think $10,000 a month is a lot of money? In the hood, I was just sitting with Michael Franzese, who's a friend of mine. Michael Franzese, we were having dinner together. He's a friend of mine, and he's a former Italian mafia captain. Probably the only one to ever make it out that life alive, and leave the life. And he's given his life to God now, and he has a few businesses. But this is something he was the richest Italian mafia member since Al Capone. Good friend. And we had dinner, and he laughed when I said it. But I told him, I was like, Mr. Franzese, like mind you, he's in his 70s. He's in his 70s. Some of you guys know Michael Franzese if you've seen Goodfellas or if you've seen the movies, you know, or if you watch his content. But we're laughing, but he was laughing. But I told him, I was like, Mr. Franzese, like, you don't understand. When you come from the world that I come, my environment, if you make $100,000, you're the richest person in your family. And he laughed. And I'm like, no, I'm serious, man. $120,000, $10,000 a month. You a millionaire to the hood. When I made my first 6-figure year, it was $177,000. I thought I was rich. This is when I learned I couldn't hoard money. I made $177,000. I think it was 2019, 2018, 2019, something like that. I was so scared to spend the money. Like, I could tell you guys, I was scared to spend the money because I thought there's no possible way that legally I was able to make all this money, which is another thing that holds us back when we come from the hood. When we come from the hood, we think that somebody is really care if we make $100,000. They don't care, bro. There's nobody watching you. That ain't no money. You make 100 million, then they're gonna start looking at you like, okay, make sure you lined up right. You ain't making no money at $100,000 for real. You are. Don't get me wrong. That's a lot of money. I'm just saying that it's not enough for the things that I was experiencing that I thought. Because I come from nothing, man. I didn't know. I'm not gonna say I come from nothing. I hate that phrase. I come from family. I come from love. I come from community. I come from respect. I come from morals. But I started from zero. So I make my first 6-figure year. I made 177,000. I was one, scared to spend the money, and two, guilty that I made money. If you rich and you watching, or if you successful and you watching, or if you have your own business and you made some money already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was so scared to spend the money. My family did not know I was rich. My family didn't know I made that money for about a year. My second year, I made like 233. And that's when I started relaxing. I always teach people, give it 18 months. If your business ain't successful for 18 months, then you can't call it sustainable. It might have just been a good year. But in that second year, I made 233, 237, 233, something like that. And I remember going, oh my God, this is real. But when you first make that money, man, when I first made the money, it was scary. I had no guidance. I remember trying to get a new place, a new house at the time, because I was living in a situation. I was like, dog, I can't be having this much money living here. Let's put it like that. I'm talking about my first year. And I went to call to get the place. Like, yo, it was like $2,000 a month or something like that. The new place would have been. And they wouldn't give it to me. I didn't understand having to make money for 2 years in a row if you self-employed, if you have your own business, and then come with bank statements for 6 months and 2 years of tax returns. That's what the requirements are when you do it independent. So like I made the money, but I didn't understand that that's what was required. So I'm like kind of upset. I'm thinking it's racism. Like, oh, they don't want to give me this place because I'm young and black. I was like 24 at the time. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like 25. Something like that. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm young, black. They don't want to give me the place. I got the money. They don't want to give it to me. No, fool. They got process and protocol and procedure. So when we come from our environments, we think like everything is against us. That's what I'm telling you guys this to say. And when I got my ducks lined up, I made the money for 2 years. They was like, yeah, you can get anything you want. So I'm saying that to say our mindset when we come from this is not like we always think that somebody is trying to hold. That's one of the biggest things my grandmother taught me that sticks with me. She said, don't never be, God, you guys forget my language, God forget my language. This is what my grandmother said. Don't ever be a white man won't let me up ass nigga. That's how she told me. Don't ever be a white man won't let me up nigga. That means don't be the guy that's, oh, they holding me back. They won't let me win. They won't give me success, man. Success is free and it's available for everybody. Anybody that applies the principles. When I coach people, when I mentor people, I teach people. And if you need a mentor, if you need a coach, first of all, go fact check what I'm saying. And make sure that I am who I say I am. And that's first of all. But if you need a mentor, go to the website and click the mentor tab. ulegend.com, ulgnd.com. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen if you don't know. It's important, man. It's important, the mindset. This is one thing I teach. Like when I'm teaching people, like, bro, the mindset, becoming a person that can have the success first. And I could teach this from a biblical perspective, or I could just teach you from a life perspective. You know, we have to, you don't become, I said this earlier, you don't obtain success, you become success. When you start waking up, living your life as a success, and like the scripture I started this with is when you put your hands to the plow, you don't look back. You start living your life a different type of way. We don't do that, unfortunately, a lot of times. We want to be who we are, but have some money. It don't work like that. How could you ever have money being who you are when being who you are is the reason that you don't have money? The mindset of what we think, like, oh, they holding me back. Oh, I don't want to change. Oh, I'm not. If I make money, I used to say that stupid stuff. If I make money, if I make $1 billion, I ain't never gonna leave the hood. Man, come on, bro. I ain't never gonna change, bro. I'm gonna be right here with y'all. If I make 100 million, I'm gonna be right here with y'all. It's foolish. A wise man to change. It's foolish. Growth. The Bible says, as a child, I thought as a child. I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I reasoned as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Even with this situation with Big U, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this is just a man that didn't put away childish things. And now he just caught up in it. You're 58 years old going to the feds. Who wants to live that life? I'll even give you a biblical reference to this. So sometimes doing the wrong thing gets us temporary success. I don't call it success, but temporary prosperity. You could be like, everybody know the story of Moses. You could be like Pharaoh and have you have prosperity for a certain period of time. But as soon as God comes to say, okay, that's enough because you ain't doing it the right way. See, people go, well, why does God allow this? Something, I have a podcast called the Will Evans Christianpreneur Podcast. And I'm just hanging out with you guys now. If you watching, I'm just hanging out with you guys. We just having a conversation. And I talked about this on the podcast where people go, well, why does God allow evil people to have success, right? If you look at Proverbs, there's a verse in Proverbs that says the wicked's wealth is stored up for the righteous. It says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but the wicked's wealth is stored up for the righteous. That means even an evil person that saves money, collects money, makes money, even in that person. Yeah, God he may not gave it to him. This is one reason. He may allow them to make money because their wealth, the money that they make, is stored up for people that are righteous. Meaning, I might be an evil person, create a successful company or business and employ 200 people that are living right and trying to do the best they can to be good people. So the wicked's wealth is stored up for the righteous. Does that make sense to everybody? So that's one part of it. The other part of it is God has designed the world a certain way. And there's nothing that, let me say it this way. God has designed the world a certain way. The principles that God placed on earth for people to be successful are unchanging depending on who the person is personally. The Bible says God is no respecter of person. That means he don't care who you are. If you apply the principles that God has placed here, you're going to be successful. It's learning those principles is where I get people to in my business and with and I have employees and stuff. When I teach my employees to teach people the same way. The seed don't care who planted it. If I plant a seed, it's going to grow. If it's the right time of year, if I water it and I give it sunlight and I nurture it the right way, it's going to grow. Don't matter if I'm a good person, black person, white person, whatever kind of person I am, don't matter. So sometimes people that are not what we would call good people, because nobody is good. Jesus even said, only the Father is good. Why you say I'm good? But even an evil person can apply the right things. So when you look at a situation like this, why would God allow Big U to have all these opportunities? One, the things that he did may have given us a Nipsey Hussle. You guys don't know. People that we consider decent people. And I say we consider because God clearly said that our righteous deeds are filthy rags to him. But we consider this a good person. Why God allow the bad people to be successful? Well, the wicked's wealth stored up for righteous, one. Two, just because a bad person planted the seed don't mean the tree ain't gonna grow. So even a bad person, if they apply God's principles, can be successful. It's learning what those principles are is where it comes. That now we having a conversation. What are the principles? Now we having a conversation. One of the biggest ones is service. Even an evil person can learn how to serve somebody. You could be evil. You could hate your boss in your heart and still do a good job at your job, right? So even a bad person can learn how to serve. And I think this is another thing that holds us back in our community. Service. Let me ask you guys a question. For everybody that's watching, all my entrepreneurs that's watching. Out of all the cultures that you know, when you think bad customer service, what type of businesses you guys think? Just let me know in the chat. I'm not even gonna say it. Let me know in the chat. When you think these type of businesses have bad customer service, or these type of people, the people that own these type of people, this culture is known for bad customer service. What culture you think of? Let's say it like that. Just if we're being honest, right? Black culture. People generally associate black culture with bad customer service. If it's a black owned business, you're gonna have bad customer service. That's how we talk. That's what we know for. Why can't black people succeed? Why is it hard for our people to succeed in business? Because we don't like the idea of being servants because of what we come from. We don't like it. I don't want to be. You ain't gonna call me no servant. Customer ain't always right here. It's another thing that holds us back, man. We're gonna have to I'm gonna do a podcast episode on the podcast. Maybe I'll do it tonight. We'll go over to the other channel, do the podcast episode tonight. But being a servant is a huge principle that God has put here. Why? Because even God served us before he gave us anything. Even God served us before he told us to do anything. How do I know that? This is a principle. This is something I'll give you guys for free. This is something I teach my clients. In all business, drop a diamond in the chat if you guys are ready for this. This is a huge gem. In all business, service is the most important thing. What is service? Service is finding a need for somebody that somebody has and solving that need. It ain't even about how polite you are necessarily. It's a plus, but solving the need is the most important thing. Because if you do the right thing, people don't care if you do it the wrong way sometimes. As long as it gets to the thing. So service. If you want to have a successful business, if you want to be successful in life, find a large group of people that have a problem that you can solve and become a servant to them people in your heart. And say, I want to help these people do this. I want to help these people get this. I want to create a product that helps people do this. I want to create a business that helps people do that. Now, in that principle, I'm going to go back to how we know this. This is how God established it. Genesis, I think it's chapter 2, talks about God telling Adam before Eve was created, when God created the male, he told him, work the garden, right? That's the first thing God told man to do, work the garden after he created him. And a lot of us think God gave a command like, oh, don't eat the fruit. That was the second thing. The first thing was, I've given you this garden to work the garden. Now, in order for God to say work the garden, what did he have to do first? He had to give the garden. He had to give you the garden. And everybody that's watching, and you that's listening, you have a garden that God has given you. What is the garden? It could be your natural ability to communicate. It could be the wisdom that you naturally have. Everybody always come to you for profundity, meaning profound statements or advice. It could be that you have a gift of singing. That's your garden. In order for you to work the garden, God had to give you the garden. So God gave everybody a garden. It could be your ability I get so many clients that they don't even understand what their garden is. And my job is to help you find your garden first, so you could become the person first and then do the thing and then have the success. Right? But just to tie off the customer service part or the servant part of it, even God has been a servant. The Bible says, look, man, this ain't even a part of the Christianpreneur podcast, but just keeping it real, man. Jesus said he ain't come to be served. He came to serve. Jesus Christ said that. Yeshua HaMashiach said that. So you ain't above it as an entrepreneur. And I think that's one of the things that's allowed me to become successful. People go, well, how did you do it? How did you make your millions? And how did you build your business? And they see me traveling the world with my wife and doing all this stuff. They don't see, bro, when I'm not doing all the fun stuff or the cool stuff that you guys like, What I'm doing is serving people, helping people. I'm teaching people, oh, this is how you make full-time money, part-time hours. Things that they care about, which is another part of it. Right? So let's go back to that example of God gave Adam the garden, right? If you're a butt naked man in the garden, what would you need? Food, water, shelter, right? Just off the back, I can't even think about working the garden until I have food, water, fire, shelter. So what did God do? He gave him dominion. Say, man, you got dominion over the bugs on the ground, the fish in the sea, the birds of the air. You can name all of it. Everything. He gave it all to him. Even God served us first before he told us to do anything. Before he told us to work, he gave us something. So I'm going to apply this to you in your business as an entrepreneur, or if you think about being an entrepreneur, or if you need help being an entrepreneur, take these lessons, man. If you're going to create a product, right? Give people something for free first. Serve them first. Don't be the person that's like, I'm not going to do nothing until I get paid. Oh my God. From our community, our people, we want to get before we give. Don't be that person. I've seen so many people stay broke because they wouldn't do nothing unless somebody paid them. I made so many relationships and made so much money because I was willing to give first, because that's the principle. Use entertainment. We all understand entertainment and hip hop, right? Let's say we understand hip hop. In record deals, what do? If a record company give you a record deal, what they do? They give you the money up front, and then they say, when you make it, pay me on the back end. When you succeed, we're gonna invest in you. And when you succeed, then we get our check. We get our cut. They serve first. They don't have to be good people to apply that principle. It could be the most evil record label executive. But because they gave you the money first and then waited for theirs on the back end. So I'm not saying you have to invest in people in that way, but what I'm saying is, in some way, you have to serve people if you have a business or if you're an entrepreneur first, before they give you anything. So how does Will do it in my business? I don't have to be on here doing a live stream. I don't have to be on here talking about, I don't really even care about this entertainment stuff anymore. I come on here to talk to you guys because I care about you guys being successful and about teaching the things that I've learned. And I've learned so much in this. You get to a certain level of success, you're going to learn a lot and have a lot of access to different rooms and different conversations if God wills it for you. I've been blessed to be in position. So I turned this portion of my business. I don't even have to teach entrepreneurs. I was teaching companies for years. When I started my success, it was me teaching companies how to use the internet to build their business, to make their businesses bigger. I started teaching entrepreneurs because I felt like it was more impactful and I was touching God's people specifically instead of teaching, I'm not going to say nothing disparaging about the companies that I work with, but every company is not moral or ethical. But I was teaching them, this is how you do it. This is how you make more money. And they don't mind giving you it. Look, I'm helped the company make over $50,000. Small company, scooter company in Italy. And they don't mind giving you 10% of that because they're going to make that and then they're going to make it consistently for the rest of their life. I said, man, I'd rather teach that to entrepreneurs. I'd rather see mom from the hood or the 40-year-old single mother or married father or whoever it is, from any walk of life, figure this is how you're going to learn how to get out of the rat race. I find more joy in that, to be honest. But I don't have to be on here doing live streams. We got a lot of clients. I don't have to be on here. So what am I saying that to say? My form of service is getting on here, these live streams, the videos, and doing free content for you guys. Right? I'm going to give you guys this for free. And then it opens the door. Say, okay, you want to be a client? Come on. I'll show you the real. I'm going to take you to the promised land, for lack of a better word, right? You got to think of the way in your business that you're going to serve people. What is the thing that you're going to give people for nothing? For them just giving you their attention. There's 3 ways you could pay somebody: money, attention, and data. How are they going to? Money cost. Attention is it only costs time. Not only, it costs time. Time is expensive, but it costs time. You know what I'm saying? So Think about that for yourself. What are you going to give? What's the garden you going to give somebody else in order for them to do the work that they're going to have to do to pay you for the product or service that you have in your business? You know what I'm saying? Say, you are one heck of a salesman. No, I don't sell anything, to be real with you. People sell it to themselves. I teach salesmen. If you selling, then that means you don't have something worth like, or you're just trying to. I believe this about salespeople. This is something I teach my salesman clients too. Selling, people get confused selling and convincing, right? Like convincing somebody to buy something that they don't want to buy is not selling. We get clients literally every day. I get clients. They're all warm leads because I'm going to communicate the outcome that you're going to get. And you already want this. You woke up this morning wanting this. I'm just going to give it to you. You could choose whoever you want to buy it from. People buy it from me because I'm honest, or whatever their connection is to it. I think there's a few different reasons I could go into, but that's another lesson for another day. But just back to the point of the seed being service. Also think about this when my entrepreneurs that's listening, my business people that's listening, my people that's trying to change their life that's listening. Always, and maybe I could add that to the point. When you're thinking about serving somebody, think about what they want, not what you want to offer. Think about what they want to buy. The problem that they have, they woke up thinking about it this morning. You're not going to present something to them that they don't want. Somebody out there, this is the example I use with my clients. Somebody out there woke up with bald tires this morning, and they're going to go to the tire shop. And they knew they was going to go to the tire shop when they went to sleep last night. All you got to do is provide the tire shop, put your tire shop on the right corner where when they drive by, they can see it. And when they come in, you have all the tires to offer, meaning you deliver on the payoff. That's it. It's not about finding customers. It's about making yourself findable to customers that already want to buy what you have to sell. That's a gem. That's a diamond. Drop a diamond in the chat. It's not about finding something to sell people. It's about selling people the thing that they want to buy that aligns with you and your business. And a lot of times we wake up and we think as entrepreneurs, I'm going to serve people doing this. So somebody might hear me say, you got to find a problem to solve for somebody. And they go, well, I'm going to solve this problem. But people don't want to buy the solution to that. It's not a big enough problem for people to care enough throughout their day. So you got to consider that as well. Consider that as well. Am I solving a problem that people actually have? There's a lot of the reason any product I create is because there's a need for it. And it would help a lot of people. It will help a lot of people. So when my clients come to me or they come sit in my office and they have a meeting with me or we, do our personal coaching call or whatever we do, or if they get in the mentorship, if I'm mentoring and I'm walking somebody, baby stepping somebody through, because I do that too. I'll baby step somebody through it. Bro, first week, we're going to do this. This is how we're going to start building your personal brand. Second week, we're going to start doing this. We're going to start optimizing your platforms and figuring out if you want to make money with the internet or on the internet, which is two different things. Two different things, which I won't get into right now. But you got to create something that they need and that they want, and that's going to really help them. And then deliver. Don't be the person that creates something that you can't deliver on. Don't be look, I'm not going to say that. Don't be the, let's say a landscaper that says I can do this whole yard and fix all this and do this, and then you can't deliver because you don't have the expertise. You have to know what you're doing. So that's a part of it. But the main thing is creating a product or service that is a need for people and not just something that you're passionate about. Man, you know how many times I see this? I see people go, man, I've been, let's say you a music teacher. I could literally, and if you have an entrepreneur question, start dropping them in the chat and we're going to start helping you guys. I'm going to help you guys with your business. I'm going to fix it for you right now. No matter what the business is, no matter what's going on. I've done this for over a decade. I'm going to coach you guys right now in the chat. So if you have an entrepreneur question, no matter what the question is, put it in the chat. I'll give you an answer right now. We'll finish the last portion of the community hour like that. But I see people come in and they're like they so passionate about the thing that they've created or the credentials that they have that they think somebody else is supposed to be passionate about it. People don't care about them. People don't care about you. They care about themselves. I'm going to give you a perfect example that you can relate to right now. When you go to the dentist's office, do you care about if the dentist, let's say you have a toothache and you're trying to get this tooth pulled. Do you care if the dentist is, do you care where he placed in his class? Like, I need to, where were you placed in your class when you graduated? Or do you care if he could pull the tooth? If he could pull the tooth, everybody should be raising their hand saying, I care if he pulls the tooth or not. So stop thinking that people are so consumed. Customers are not consumed with how well you did in school or what your degree says or what company you worked for in the past, or can you get me to the desired result? You trying to sell me on all this stuff that I don't care about as a customer or a consumer. Can you pull this tooth, dentist? I don't care if you have the biggest business in America. There was a doctor that was interviewing and he said he don't even ask his clients what they make because it doesn't matter. And they don't ask him where he placed in college because it doesn't matter as long as he can get the job done. The proof is in the pudding, my mama used to say. So, always consider that. When you're creating your business or you're creating your product, nobody's really sitting there. Can you get me to the result? I don't care about how passionate you are or how much you love the thing you're doing. Come on, man. Get me to the result. So you got to think like that. Okay, I got a person that said, I develop apps and games for mobile and PC. How can I maximize my marketing for my product? I think you have to create a game. I work with a lot of gamers. I got a lot of clients. A few of them are gamers. If you develop apps and games for mobile, or if you mobile and PC, so you just develop in general, you're a developer. How can you maximize the marketing for your product? I think you have to put it in front of the people that actually have the need for your product. So I would have to sit with you and say, okay, if he develops apps and games, I would probably be trying to get, if you develop apps, I'm trying to get in front of entrepreneurs that want an app. I think the fitness industry is really great for that. I have a lot of clients in that field that they want their own app. If I was marketing it, I probably would sell it from the perspective of, hey, I would go for people that have, this is exactly what I would do if I was you. I would go for people that have cult-like followings, but they aren't able to monetize on their platform because maybe they're vulgar, like an Andrew Tate or somebody that's trying to go into that lane, right? Or what's his name? I'm looking at him. Alex, what's his name? You guys help me out in the chat. It's the other one. He always do the conspiracy theories. I'm looking at the guy. Or like, dang man, Alex Jones. Thank you, Alex Jones. Right? Like people that are in that field, that conspiracy theory field. Maybe you could develop something for somebody like that. I always believe in solving problems for very successful people. Like they get kicked off of platforms. So, Candace Owens, like those type of people that are very controversial, developing apps or games for them. But if you're just doing gaming apps, then yeah, I would probably look at the way that this is exactly what I would do. Actually, I would look at the way that gaming apps are making money, which is advertisement. I would develop my own gaming app, and then I would start selling advertisement. Like you guys ever scroll and see that one game that you just can't click off of it, and it's like shooting a gun, a bunch of bullets. And it's like, this is a fake game. If you click it, then it's not a real game. Like, but we made it a real game. Y'all see that app? Like sometimes you got to develop your own thing. If you have a skill, develop an app look, the person that made Temple Run in 2000, whatever, 16 or 17, the person that made Temple Run, that app, that game, they wouldn't have thought that they was going to have that much success. The way that platform, the gaming apps make money is advertisement. That's how they allow it to be free for everybody. So all you got to do is create an app. This is a good plan for you. This is a free one. Create an app. using your skill and your expertise, a mobile game that people can that is something attractive for people to play, and then sell advertisement. That's the business side of it. For the marketing side of it, you're going to have to run a lot of advertisement for a game and an app because it's so saturated that you're going to have to cut through in some way. Or if you just want to make a quick buck, there's a way to do that. I don't never recommend that because I want you to have sustained success. But it's just, that's a time thing. Like you're never going to have overnight success with a mobile app unless you're going to be a developer for somebody that already has the idea or the business plan. Marketing wise, it's just going to take a lot of advertisement, which I don't typically recommend for marketing because advertisement and marketing are two different things. Advertisement is creating awareness. Marketing is creating conversation. So it really depends on the app or the game that you develop on how I would market it, because it depends on it. Well, like, what is it? Is it a game for kids? Is it a game for adults? Are you developing apps for other people? Are you developing apps for yourself? Right? And is it a sports app? Is it a sports game? Is it a puzzle game? Is it what kind of game we talking? So it all depends on the details. I see we got a landscaper in the chat. I'm gonna help you in a second too. I got I think 4 landscaping clients that I've helped and that we're still helping. So I'm gonna start with this one. I said I'm starting with my first artist. I'm helping him develop on the business side. So any pointers in that field, I'm starting fresh on the business side. If you're talking about music, a music artist, you have to help him see or be the person that understands that people are not buying into him for his music. People are buying into him for his perspective. And that's a personal branding thing. I'm actually teaching a masterclass this month on personal branding. So go to ulegend.com, ulgnd.com, sign up for the masterclass. This month we're teaching personal branding. This is my last masterclass, and then we're going to put this up, or the product will be different next month. But I'm teaching personal branding, so that'll be a great one for you to join. What I would say is you got to teach him that people are buying into him for his perspective, not for his product. When we talk about branding and when we talk about developing artists, people buy into artists for their perspective because everybody makes music. I don't believe that there's necessarily a such thing as oversaturation, because when you go to New York, there's a hot dog stand on every corner. It's all about the story that's told. That's what marketing is. Well, that's what branding is. So in order for you to develop your first artist, I would tell them, yeah, the music is important, but people are going to listen to bad. People will listen to bad music if your presentation is entertaining or intriguing. So that's the first thing I would say. The other thing that I would say is to be entertaining is to be provoking, is to be emotion provoking. So he's in an entertainment lane. Teach him how to provoke emotion in a way that'll keep him alive too. Don't just let him do anything, because there's consequences to that too. And I see you said, and I know how to set up AdSense accounts and network, and I have creative marketing experience. So, okay, so networking wise, if you know how to network, then you understand that networking is not necessarily about who you get around. It's more about who you are, because nobody wants to network with a person that don't have nothing going on. That's a huge networking gem that I teach. When you don't have success already, then the right people don't network with you. So it doesn't matter how well you network. You want to have success. You don't want to just put them. I've seen so many artists go to networking party after networking party. What do they call them? Showcases, performing at showcases. It's not a good plan. You need to get people buying into his brand. And his brand is the association or disassociations that people draw when they look at him. So if you coming from, I don't know where he's from or what city you're from, but let's use, I don't know, any artist, Drake in Toronto. The associations that people draw from Drake is that he's an artist from Toronto. So they want to see that in his presentation, because that's what he's built the brand on. His brand is that, essentially. And then it's all the other stuff. So you got to create associations and disassociations. He is this and he's not that, because typically people like to either stand by something or stand against something. They don't like when they don't know what it is in marketing. They got to stand by it or stand against it. So Target doesn't want Walmart to go out of business, and Walmart don't want Target to go out of business because they create a disassociation for each other. Target's customer experience is different than Walmart's, and without us having to do any marketing to explain that, all we got to do is build ours across the street or down the street from Walmart. If I'm Target, all businesses like that. So in personal branding, when you're creating an association or a disassociation, you have to do the same thing. And a lot of people listening right now be like, man, you're giving out too much game for free. Bro, I know 1,000 things, 100,000 things. And I learn something new every day. I'm giving out, when people say that you're giving game away for free, is because they don't have that much game. They only can teach 1 or 2 things. I know 1,000 things I could teach you and still sell and still teach clients stuff that they would never think of. So just to kind of tie that off, when you marketing your artists, you need to create associations and disassociations. He is this and he is not that. This is something I was just teaching my clients, right? I wrote a book. So I'm just going to use my book as an example because it's good marketing. This is the front cover of my book. How do we know that this is the front cover of my book? Oh, because the title is on it. Oh, because of it. No. Simpler. Because it has a back cover. It's simple as that. I know that this is the front cover because it has a back cover. Anything. Here's a cell phone. I know that this is the screen of my cell phone because this is the back. This is the front because this is the back. What I'm saying that to say is customers, consumers, clients, whoever they are, they want to know what you are and what you're not. And I only can know what you are by knowing what you're not. So that's what associations and disassociations, I could go way more in depth, but just start there. Said it's a sports app. Where can I sign up for the class? So landscaping. In the landscaping field, I have four clients that are landscaping businesses, that have landscaping businesses, and I help them. This is and you probably could do this with almost any field. This is a great way. There's levels of community. There's levels of value in business that, man, can y'all tell I know I've been doing this for a long time. I could literally talk about any business and help anybody with any business. I've been doing this for a long time, man. I've seen all kind of clients come through here. There's levels of value in business for my landscaping client, or for my landscaping guy right here, that I teach to my clients, my landscaping clients. And like I said, this can apply to a lot of different businesses. So maybe you guys could just take some wisdom from this. Implementation is the lowest level. I was taught that it was implementation, unification, communication, and imagination. I'm just going to teach you about implementation because I could go another 3 hours talking about this, but implementation is physically doing work. A lot of people in service-based businesses, they trying to use their physical resources to create an unlimited resource of money. Money is unlimited. You can get, there's not a number that you can hit that they say that's all you can make, right? So it's an unlimited resource, but we try to use a physical limited resource to create an unlimited resource. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. So there's a cap that you can use your body to create money from, right? So you have to go into the higher levels, which is unification, which is there's another ceiling on that. And then communication, there's another ceiling on that. And then imagination, there's another ceiling on it. I like to try to get my clients to the communication level because imagination is like Steve Jobs and Walt Disney and Henry Ford. Like, that's very hard for a lot of people to get to. But communication, I believe everybody can get to because it only takes skill and practice. It's just creating the skill set to do it. I know it don't sound like I'm about to tell you about landscaping, but I'm telling you about landscaping in every service business. If you have a service, if you wash cars, if you landscape, if you cook for people, whatever you are, listen to this and apply it. Drop a diamond in the chat if you're listening. Drop a diamond. I try to get my clients to the communication level because specifically with my landscaping clients, what I've seen is they don't usually use the internet to help them make money because they have a physical service. And they go, well, I just need to go door to door. This is a lot of what they all say when they first come in. I got to go door to door and get clients to like say they want me to do their yard. No, you have to put that phone up. I know you guys, have you guys seen the guy on YouTube and on social media, internet, that he cuts people's grass for free. He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, cutting grass for free because he goes to the worst neighborhoods and he cuts the worst lawns in the world that he could find. And he makes those places look nice. But he has a landscaping business. But he's making all his money using the internet. So he only got to do 1 yard a month. And he's going to do 200 million views across the platforms. And he's going to make more than that 1 yard can ever pay him in a year. That one house can never pay him in a year. So communication, the communication level for a landscaping business. You want to have a business where you're demonstrating expertise using the internet. If you demonstrate expertise on the internet, what happens is my clients, they always go, well, if I tell people how good I am and show them how good I am on camera, then I'm going to lose clients because I'm going to create more competitors. And then the competitors are going to take my clients. And that's how we think as entrepreneurs. But what reality is you worried about your competitors, but the potential clients are looking at the video and going, man, my yard kind of looked that bad. My yard don't look as bad as that. This guy's an expert and he's in my area. And then it's a little bit more that I won't give away for free on how to optimize the people in your area to come straight to your business. I coach clients and I don't want to give that away for free, but I'm giving you the overall blueprint without giving you the details on how to do it specifically. But I'm giving you, this is the play. The clients go, he's an expert and he's in my area. I'm hiring him because he showed me expertise. The clients don't care about your competitors because your competitors aren't showing expertise because they're too scared to use the internet because they don't want to show the other competitors their secrets. You know? So that's how I would help you with your landscaping business. I've been doing this for a long time, y'all. I coach entrepreneurs, but I was coaching businesses before this. So that's where my level of expertise comes from. One, experience in my own business, but two, I was coaching businesses, which is a lot higher pressure than it is working with an entrepreneur. Say how to start a podcast with a low budget. Very, very easy. Get on your phone. You have a phone because you're watching this. Get on your phone, record the audio, go to I don't like to teach things that you can learn on Google because I feel like good coaching is counterintuitive. And if you can find it out for yourself, then why do you need a coach to teach it to you? And maybe I'll end with that. But get on Google, go to one of the podcast hosts. It could be Podbean or it's another one to start with an A. So you could just Google podcast host or whatever podcast. What is it? I've been talking for a while, so I'm starting to lose my train of thought a little bit easier. What did they call those? But you can start talking. You can start talking into the recording feature on your phone. Just go to your mic or your voice recording on your phone. Talk for an hour. Get good at talking. Just get the reps. You know, put bad episodes out. A person that starts with nothing, but starts is better than the person that never starts and tries to, like, a lot of us get analysis paralysis and we're like, man, how can I do this? What can I do? Man, just find somewhere to do it and get started. I don't care if you just put the camera up and get on YouTube. Put a cell phone up and get on YouTube and start live streaming. Get on TikTok. Do something. But get started. You know, rest in peace to George Foreman. I think when I looked at that story, one of the things I drew from it, and I'm going to end with this, is, man, 76 years old, he passed away. But he left 320 million. If you think that you're going to make money slow and that you have time, 76 is not that old, man. Some of y'all might be in your 40s right now. That means you're more than halfway there if you live to be George Foreman's age. But a lot of us wait. Nah, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. I'm going to get coaching. I'm going to do this. Now, I'm going to end it with this, man. One of the biggest things that changed my life, which is why I'm even in the field that I'm in, is because I got a coach and I got mentors. To this day, I got mentors. And they expedite the process. Any good coach is going to expedite the process for you. And I always encourage everybody that's listening. If you don't have a direction, if you don't know what you're doing, Even if you do know what you're doing, the richest people I know, and I know some rich people, y'all, and I'm doing okay too. They all got mentors to this day. Even the older ones go get younger mentors. 75 years old, get a 40-year-old mentor to teach them. Man, I got a client, or not a client, excuse me, I got a mentor that he's in his 60s. And he went and got a 30-year-old to teach him how to do YouTube so he could start building his personal, at 60 something years old, building his personal brand. Now, why I bring up George Foreman and talk about him, because even in this, right? In my workshop, for my internet income workshop that you could join the wait list now. It's for 40, it's created for 40 plus entrepreneurs, but anybody can join, any age. But I'm teaching people how to use the internet to make full-time money working part-time hours, right? And the reason I love doing it for the 40 and up is because they don't believe that they can create a brand. The reason I bring George Foreman up is because he didn't create Foreman Grills, or he didn't create them, but he didn't have the business Foreman Grills. He didn't get involved in that until he was 48 years old. So between the age of 48 and 76 years old, he was able to make so much money that he was able to leave his family with $320 million when he passed away. Rest in peace to him. Because the Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. George Foreman started working the Foreman Grill at 48 years old and died at 76 with $320 million left for his family. You're never too old to get started. It's just about getting started, man. And if you don't know how to get started, go get a coach. One of the things that keeps people broke so long is thinking that they're going to do it on their own. I was that guy. I would have been a millionaire probably 3 or 4 years earlier than I didn't have to stay at making six figures for 3 years. I had plateaued at like $250,000. And I could not figure it. You're going to make the millions when you get somebody to teach you the things that you didn't know. So here's the things that I say qualify somebody to be a good coach. Whoever you go out there, because a lot of people ask this question. I'm going to finish with this. When you're looking for a mentor or coach, one, make sure that they were successful before they started teaching. Make sure that these people was making money and knew what they was doing and learned the expertise of what you coming to them to get coached on before. If anybody that try to make money off of coach, like, was you rich before, or did you get rich off of? The person that writes the book on how to be a millionaire, but the book is the way that they're going to become a millionaire, that's called a scammer. Stay away from them type of mentors and coaches. You should have some experience. You should have a lot of experience in business before you start teaching people. So when I get on here, you guys can just throw businesses at me in the comments, and I can tell you this is what I would do, and this is how I would coach you. And I give you things that which brings me to my second point, never heard of or never heard before. That's the second qualifier of a good coach to me. Is what they're saying to you counterintuitive, or do you already know it? Because if somebody's teaching you something that you can learn in a college classroom or on Google or Chat GPT, then that means that it's not counterintuitive. And if I already know it, why do I need you to coach me? The things that I say to you should not make sense to you at first until you do it. So when I teach clients, like, this is how you're going to make, this is how you have a 5-figure day. I haven't had a client have a 6-figure day yet, but I'm getting there. But I could easily teach you how to make 10 to 99,000 in a day if you have everything, aligned a certain way. We could always get you there because I've done it. But when I say certain things, it's like, this is how you're going to do it, and you need to do this instead of that. It's always counterintuitive. They go, "You sure?" They question it. And I always say this, man. If it wasn't counterintuitive, why would you need? If you already knew this, why would you need to pay me to teach it to you? Don't make sense. So a good coach is somebody that has success before they started coaching. Somebody that has success. They didn't get rich off coaching. They got rich and then started coaching or teaching or mentoring. And then 2, they teach you something that's counterintuitive that you didn't already know. Because if you already knew it, then why am I paying to be taught it? Does that make sense to everybody? So Those are two things. And then, the third thing that I would say is make sure that they have the heart of a teacher and not the heart of a salesman. If you're talking to them and they telling you about coaching, make sure that they feel like they want to teach you something, that they have empathy and that they have compassion for your situation. Because don't give nobody your money if they can't even have sympathy for the situation that you're in, or if they can't even. Man, when I talk to people, I love people, man. And every time I have a client, I see what stage of business they're at that I was at. So it makes me like, you me. And I love helping them. You just like me when I was. And I love helping them. But there's some coaches and mentors out there, and entrepreneur coaches and business coaches and consultants and different stuff that it's commission breath, bro. Like they just want to hurry up and make the sale. They don't even care about if they give in value. I fired 2 employees recently because they're playing with client. You can't play with clients when it comes to me. My clients mean a lot to me. So make sure that they have the heart of a teacher and not the heart of a salesman. They ain't trying to sell nothing. They really there with the heart, wanting you to learn and wanting you to teach. Wanting to teach you and wanting you to get it. And they're not trying to keep you in a coaching carousel where you're there working with a person for 2 years, but you ain't learned nothing that's going to make you no money. You ain't learned nothing that you didn't already know. And then they cap out because they're not spending every day learning and getting mentored. So they don't even know what they can teach you next. They only can teach you one thing. I think that's one of the biggest scams that I see in coaches, which is why I hate pyramid schemes, because they never really teach nobody nothing. You just appeal to people's emotions and be like, you want to be on a yacht? You want to be on vacation? You want to be this? I don't tell people none. I don't even make guarantees. I tell people I make certainties. Hey, if you apply what I'm telling you, I'm getting my stuff from the Bible. This is laws of nature. These are laws of physics. This is God's law as well. And that's because the Bible talks about business, finances, and money more than it talks about anything else. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Over 2,500 scriptures talk about business in the Bible. That's where I learn my business principles. That's where I start from. That's where I end at personally. And I'm going to teach you the principles that God has set in place for anybody to be successful. But, everybody got their own thing, but I would just give you guys that warning, that heads up. That's all I got for you guys on this live stream, man. I love you guys, man. I hope that you guys is blessed out there. Stay blessed. And I'm gonna keep talking. We're gonna just talk straight entrepreneur stuff on my other channel, the Will Evans channel. If you don't know where to find it, go to my channel right here. And you'll see on the homepage of my channel, click the Will Evans channel. We're gonna do episode 3 of the podcast, the Will Evans Christianpreneur podcast tonight. And we're gonna continue talking about some stuff. I'm about to take an hour, eat lunch with my family, eat dinner with my family. This is almost 8 p.m. I'm in California, it's 6:30. I'm going to eat dinner with my family, and I'm going to come back tonight after I get everybody settled and taken care of. And we're going to come back and we're going to have some entrepreneur talk tonight. So go to the other channel or listen to the Will Evans Christianpreneur podcast tonight. And we're going to talk, man. I hope that you guys was blessed by the information. I hope that you wasn't just entertained by this. I never want to come over here and just lull you guys to sleep with entertainment. I always try to teach something on my live streams. So subscribe if you ain't subscribed. And like I said, if you're not a part of an entrepreneur community, if you're trying to become an entrepreneur, if you can't afford to get coaching or you can't afford to do anything else, go to the website. My website, ulegend.com, is short for Urban Legend. That's the name of the company, ULegend Media. Go to ulegend.com. It's scrolling here at the bottom, and join our free entrepreneur networking group, where we put you with entrepreneurs and you get free resources and stuff like that. And once you sign up, you also get the podcast, and you have a place that you can listen to the podcast directly from instead of having to go search for it. So you guys can sign up over there, ULegend Millionaires, and you can check it out. Check out the website too if you guys want to check it out. If you go to the Millionaires tab, you'll see all the different things. And if you ain't following me on social media, go follow me at Urban Legend Will Evans. Same handle on everything. I'll see you guys on the other channel when it's podcast hour. I'll make sure I share it to this channel. So if you go to the community tab on this channel, you'll see it. And we're going to have a good conversation now. I'm going to go more into the George Foreman deal. And we're going to talk about that, how he built his empire. At 48 years old, George Foreman built his empire. And this month's Entrepreneur Masterclass is on personal branding. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do a personal brand, how to build a personal brand that sustains, that's poverty proof, It don't matter if inflation hit. It don't matter if they close YouTube down and you can't use YouTube for the rest of your life. It don't matter if TikTok gets banned. I'm gonna teach you guys how to build a brand that's poverty proof. So go sign up for the masterclass if you ain't signed up yet. Other than that, I love you guys. I thank you guys for being here. Thank you for paying me with your attention. And I hope that I see you guys on the podcast live stream that I'm gonna do tonight over on the other channel. Stay blessed by the best. Urban Legend.